The Magic of Compound Recruiting: The Secrets of Building a Super Hierarchy by Hubert Humphrey. In this chapter, we will uncover Chapter 2, A Builder's Mindset. The Magic Vision. One of the first benefits I want you to derive from this book is increased vision. Vision is characteristic of great leaders in any business. When I read Ray Kroc's Grinding It Out, I was impressed with his vision. Kroc was 52 years old with diabetes and arthritis when he first saw the McDonald's Brothers hamburger restaurant in San Bernardino, California. As he watched the restaurant employees make hamburgers and french fries for long lines of lunch customers, he immediately saw the potential of duplicating this successful business in towns all across the country. He didn't just think, I think I'll open one of these 30 miles from here. He immediately began formulating a plan to open numbers of them in many different places. Willard Marriott also had vision. When Marriott was going to school in Washington, D.C., he sold hot dogs on the street. At that time, he envisioned restaurants all over the country. His restaurant interest eventually led to a massive hotel chain. There's a quote by Victor Hugo: "Make no small plans, for they have no power to stir the souls of men." See off into the future of your marketing business. If you think about a little business, that's what you'll build. But if you fully understand the power of building in your mind, if you see an image of yourself building a giant marketing organization, it will come to pass. As you begin to see into the future, I want you to imagine two things. One, a large network of outlets. Two, a large base of multi-producing clients. Every true marketing person envisions these two things as his ultimate goal. Each outlet represents the potential for the sale of products. The more outlets you have, the more products you can sell. Once you establish a client base, adding new products that the consumer needs becomes a way to maximize profits. Two main focal points. Okay, let's say you have vision. Now, what do you do? The answer couldn't be more simple. In fact, out of all the points I made in this book, the ones I'm going to give you here are the most important. If I got amnesia and could only remember two things about how I built my own marketing organization, here's what I want to remember. One, get more and more personal direct leads. Two, get more and more people, old and new, to opportunity meetings. I live by these principles, but what do they mean? Let's see. Point one, get more and more personal direct legs may be self-explanatory. A leg is a person or group of people downline to you. Your goal is to always increase the number of people you personally recruit and train, therefore directly override. A direct leg is one of your personal hires who has hired and trained people himself, and you override this organization. Warning: dangers of indiscriminate recruiting. There is nothing that will wreck your business quicker than doing nothing but hiring anything that moves. I believe you have little chance of no success if you do. You cannot just recruit without regard to the type of person you're hiring and without regard to training. You have to give people you hire the tools for success. Remember, no money is made until the product is sold, and you can't sell the product until you are trained. No one has ever built a good, reputable marketing organization by simply hiring people faster than they can train them. In fact, Most of the people who have tried in this way have found themselves out of business in a very short period of time. Generally, they find that they ruined their name in their community and lost any hope of rebuilding that right away. Every person who has ever built a successful marketing organization has trained or found someone to train every single new person. Since most of your people are going to be part time and only working a small number of hours each week, hiring large numbers is not going to affect your ability to get each person trained. I'll discuss the correct market to recruit from a later chapter, but for now, you have to understand that your primary concern is looking for people who want your opportunity as opposed to people who need it. If someone needs it too badly, chances are they're either in financial straits or they can't hack working hard for a living. While some people in this business have gotten themselves out of financial trouble, the majority never work out. They are in the situation of looking for a new way to make cash easy and fast. Build your business. Building your business takes hard work. The rewards are well worth it, but they don't come without a price. This is not to say that you shouldn't look at everyone you meet as potential as a potential person in your organization. You should. Until someone has tried this opportunity, you have no way of knowing whether or not they will work out. I recruited people I just knew were going to be superstars, and they turned out to be huge disappointments. Likewise, I've recruited people I never thought had a chance who had gone on to build a successful business. This happens because the key to winning at anything is how much desire you have or your will to win. And there's almost no way of measuring that before you hire someone. The dynamics of an opportunity meeting. Point two is get more and more people, both old and new, to opportunity meetings. I believe that conducting opportunity meetings is an important part of building your business. But unless you understand your purpose, you'll never use them effectively. For example, most people concentrate on getting new people to opportunity meetings and then showing the new people how they can set up their own marketing business. This is not build a super hierarchy. Below are the correct opportunity meeting objectives in order of priority. One, resell the dream to the old or existing team. Two, teach your team how to sell the dream. And three, sell the dream to the new people. As you can see, what many people think is the primary objective is actually the third objective. I see people make this mistake all the time. Someone focuses on getting high numbers of new faces at the opportunity meeting every week. He thinks he's really building something big. Remember, the warning, this may work for a while, and certainly people have tried it, but it will never build a super hierarchy. Getting old people to come to the meeting is equally as important as having new people there. Why? Because they are your natural resources. They know about the opportunity. They've been trained and they know what they're doing. They already know how to sell the products and other business opportunity to someone else. They just need more motivating. I never give up on anyone. I still try to send my mail outs to anyone who has ever gotten hiring papers. I have my assistants call every member of my existing team every week to see if they are coming to the meeting. More in Chapter 10, a system whereby building never stops, but detailed on how to run a good opportunity meeting. This philosophy truly works. Just recently, I had a guy who had been missing in action for several months. He received one of my tapes in a mailing, and now he's reactivated in his business. He's got prospects, he's making appointments. Rejuvenating him was a lot easier and a lot better for him than going out and trying to find someone new. You'll find that if you call your veterans and they come to the meeting and for some reason get excited and motivated again, you get sales results. They've been regenerated. Don't ever discount the potential of these people. They are your natural resources. Remember, it's the compounding of lots of people doing a little bit that will earn you a big income. If you limit yourself to focusing only on new people, you'll never get the numbers working for you. And since you're running a meeting anyways, why not get double the efforts? The number of people at your opportunity meeting is just as important as who those people are. Look at this equation. I have found that if I average 100 people, old and new, every week for a month at my opportunity meetings, I will produce about 100 sales that month. Don't ask me why this works. I don't know. I just know that it does, and that not only does it work for me, but it works for other people. Average number of people, average number of people per week equals the base shop sales at opportunity meetings per month. By the way, approximately 60 to 70 of those sales will come from business produced by your old people. Build to max out profits. We've just talked about building people direct to you. What we were actually discussing was a specific building configuration. That configuration is called building wide. There are three basic ways to build marketing organizations. One is wide, two is deep, three, wide and deep. You build wide by personally hiring and training people who report directly to you. When you help one of your personal hires to recruit and train someone, you are building deep. It is critical that you understand the importance of these two terms. Building one way as opposed to the other will have a tremendous effect on your long range income. While I have a lot of people downline from me running deep in terms of generations of people, I also have a tremendous number of people who report directly to me. To this day, I am still hiring people personally. Obviously, if you were really going to maximize your profits, you would build both wide and deep because there are rewards for doing both. But if you were going to emphasize one over the other, it is far more profitable to concentrate on building wide. As you're building, don't worry about building deep. If you hire an ambitious person, your organization may go deep in spite of you. Many people never really turn into millionaires. In fact, most don't, but they do make a nice, healthy income because some of their downline people built big organizations. Make a mental picture of the following equations. Wide equals profitability, depth equals security. Primary, go wide, secondary, go deep. Remember, you can go deep after you go wide, but you can't have depth in a leg you haven't started. You can't have grandchildren until you have children. Think of this building principle. You can control the planter, but you can't control the plant. Take tomato plants, for example. Most everyone has, at one point or another, brought those little containers of tomato plants and taken their spade and planted it in their yard. After they watered and fertilized the plant, that's about all they could do. But they could do one more thing. They could plant another tomato plant. You can't control that plant, but you can control what you do. And you can get your spade and plant another one. It's the same with recruiting. You can hire someone, but you can't control what he does. You can control what you do. You can hire another person and therefore continue to build it wide. Let's assume that depth is going to happen in spite of you, no matter what you do. If you hire a few people, they're probably going to hire some people, and you have at least one leg that's working deep. There are two pictures that I draw that tell the story of why you should continue to build wide. The first is a small mountain with a flat top. The small mountain above is 5 people wide, meaning you've hired 5 people personally. Then I draw down the sides of the mountain from there. You can and should draw pictures like this for the people in your organization. A picture is worth 1,000 words. This picture indicates that by working with these 5 people, they will probably build their own organization and push your hierarchy deep. The second mountain starts with 50 wide. Look at the difference in the two mountains. If nature is going to take its course, which way would you like to have your depth fill out? If you're 5 wide, there are only 1 or 2 who are your core. If you're 50 wide, there are probably 5, 10, or 15 who are your core. Depth provides security. Building deep is certainly the easiest way to build. It's just a fact of building that it's easier to help one of your people hire a person in his or her warm market than for you to go out and find a whole new person. This is especially true after you have been in the business for a while and have already worked your warm market. And if you are the new person, obviously the opposite is true. Depth is also easier because if you hire an ambitious person, he may build deep, regardless of what you do. The other plus to building deep is that it provides income security. When you are deep, you should have layers of leaders. These are people who are ambitious as yourself, whom you have trained to build a big organization. Their efforts will provide compensation to you at all times in the form of override commissions, even if you are unable to work. That means you will still receive good income. There's income from a large group of people. You can't be devastated. Your income is insulated against adverse circumstances such as getting sick, disability, etc. Building keys. I remember 2 things a friend once told me about building a successful marketing business. The first was don't resort to panic management. He described the cases of panic management as number 1, lack of money, 2, lack of activity, 3, lack of definite sound business philosophy. Most people don't build a big marketing business because they suffer from number 3. The second thing he talked about was his philosophy of building outlets. He said, 1, opening outlets is an all-time thing. 2, have quantity to get quality. For now, I want to explain principle number 1 because it relates specifically to builder's mindset. Number 1 is another way of saying you must have a hiring mentality. You can't build unless you do. Do not make the mistake of focusing on sales. You must think opening outlets. I like to say hit sales, aim at recruits. This means that if you focus on hiring and training new people, sales by them will come naturally. What if you don't succeed in hiring that person? That's okay too, because he or she may still become a client who is happy using the product. To get these 2 possibilities working for you, you have to look at every person as a potential outlet first. Don't make one list of people you're going to sell and another list of people you're going to hire. You personally don't have the omnipotent power of determining which a person will be. You shouldn't deny someone a chance to become part of your team. You're hurting them and you're hurting yourself. The myth of training. At first, the myth of training sounds like a real negative. It sounds like I'm saying training is a joke or you don't need training. That is not what I'm saying. As I said earlier, training is critical. Remember, only sales produce income and training is mandatory for sales. But some people have a mistaken view of how to train. The word has a certain mystique about it. Some people even use training as an excuse for not doing the activities that will later bring them sales and help them build a team. As a result, The tendency for most people is to one, hire him, two, train him. This is legal to the person wanting to build a super hierarchy. A builder's mindset says one, hire him, and two, help him build his own team. If I'm field training you, we basically have two options. We can make field training sales, or through field training, we can begin to find people who will become a member of your team once you are licensed. In both options, you're going to receive the traditional form of training. But option number two also means that you'll have more than just field training sales. You'll have the potential for a team once you are licensed. Would you rather be training and get a few training sales, or would you rather have training and some sales and the potential for lots of sales through your future team? Build it 3 times. Whatever you expect or hope to accomplish, you must build it 3 times. One, build it in your mind. Two, build it on paper. And three, build it. First, build your super hierarchy, or whatever it is you're planning in your dreams. I mean this literally. Take my office building as an example. Someone had to dream that building in his or her mind first. Every detail was thought out, and then they made a blueprint. That's the second step, building your dream on paper. When an architect builds his dream on paper, then after the contractors and subcontractors will all, with all their workmen, can physically put the structure together. Handle every aspect of your business this way. Think about it, write it down, and then do it. Some people just jump out there and start building from scratch with no plan and no vision. What kind of building would you have if you did that? If I have a training school, or I've got a day with interviews, or we're planning a big opportunity meeting, if I'm trying to earn a promotion or a certain level of income, I go through every step in my mind first. Then I write it down. Then I execute it. Quote, for where there is no vision, the people perish. Close quote. Proverbs 29 and 18. The financial challenge. Be a master builder. The final step is developing a builder's mindset, is to see your role in business as that of a master builder contractor. So many people who come into business take their mind off their main goal. They get bogged down with sitting behind their desk doing paperwork. These people become what I call carpenters. They're experts in their own specialized fields, but they have nothing to do with developing the big picture. They're not the master builder. Your goal is to see yourself as the contractor building a giant house or team. Developing a building mentality. This chart is something I developed to show the similarities between an empire building and a building contractor. Master builder building contractors versus an empire builder super hierarchy builder. One, envisions completed project before he starts to building, and the other has a clear mental picture of being the leader of thousands. Now, the master builder has blueprints drawn up at great detail, but the empire builder prepares a plan to reach goals. The master builder determines how much raw material, supplies, workers are needed to complete the project, and that empire builder determines how many prospects, interviews, recruits, PPUs, sales, managers, RVPs it will take. The master determines how much it will cost to do the job, when the empire builder determines how much energy and time it will take and what things must be eliminated and sacrificed. Big difference. The master builder sets a deadline for competition, for completion, while the empire builder sets daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and multi-yearly deadlines for accomplishment. The master develops a business plan to hire painters, brick masons, plumbers, electricians, roofers, laborers, carpenters, subcontractors, contractors, negotiate constant and sufficient cash flow to finish the job and stay in business, normally with the bank, while the builder develops a business plan for recruiting, training, and developing new people, makes enough personal sales and training sales, and always personal recruits to keep the spread balanced. This ensures sufficient cash flow while developing key leaders. Building principle. Don't major in minor things. Don't fall into the trap of concentrating on what's easy, like paperwork. Find a good administrative orientated person to handle the details of running an office. Your job as the master builder is to see the big picture and focus on activity that will generate income, such as recruiting and training. This is the end of chapter 2. These are the secrets of building a super hierarchy.